Hey everyone, it's Kathy.
And Paul here with Adulting.
We're here to help you navigate the crazy world of adulting.
Because let's be real, it's a wild ride. We'll be dropping tips, sharing stories,
And maybe even spilling some embarrassing secrets along the way.
so get comfortable, grab your favorite drink, get ready to laugh, learn, and level up your adulting game. This is Adulting. Don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe, and share this podcast. Head over to adulting.com for more information and to submit questions for us about adulting.
And maybe even pick up some of our new merchandise. And if you know any fellow adults who need some guidance, send them our way.
Welcome back to this episode. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the changes that we've got going on in our life and how we're dealing with some of this life change. How to keep our priorities squared away, and adjusting when you see mission creep. And I know you're saying, what the hell is a mission creep? And the effects it has on other people, because none of us are an island in this world. But before we do that, I have to take a minute to acknowledge an important milestone we're passing. And only firefighters will understand and appreciate this. This is episode 69.
Only firefighters would understand that?
Well, the type.
Or, anybody above the age of 13?
Yes, exactly. It's one of my favorite numbers. So what's going on in our lives? New jobs, new hours, new learning, new demands on our time, new home routines, new clothes. We're fancy like Applebee's now. Lots going on, and we're having to figure out how to deal with it. With that said, though, it's not like the world got turned on its head or anything like that. We're getting through it. We're just looking for ways to make the transition a little smoother.
Navigating a dual career transition is a significant undertaking, especially when the shifts affect everything from your daily wardrobe to your internal on-call clock. Moving from roles defined by high-stakes emergency response or long-standing routines into new professional environments requires a structural recalibration of how you manage your energy and your time. Here's a strategy for managing these changes effectively while keeping your core priorities intact.
First, establish transitional rituals. When job demands and dress code changes, the mental switch between work and home can become blurred, because I always dressed business casual at home.
You also never weren't the same person at work as you were at home.
How can we do this? A uniform reset. Since your daily attire has changed, use the act of changing clothes as a formal boundary. When you get home, immediately change into your home clothes to signal to your brain that the professional demands on the day are over. That sort of works, because whenever I got home when I was firefighting, one of the first things I did was get out of my uniform so no one caught ick.
Yeah, but that was a different reason. This is to kind of let your brain know your workday is over.
My workday's never over. Fire safety doesn't sleep.
Well, my workday ends, and when I get home, I change because my workday is over.
The commute decompression. Use the time between the workplace and home, very short time now, I might add, to process the day. Whether it's a specific podcast, not even enough time for that, or a period of silence, plenty of time for that. Ensure that by the time you pull in the driveway, the work file is closed.
My commute is so short that I think before I unlock my car in the parking lot, I'm already turned off and starting to think about all the things I have to do at home, because although my work day is over, my day is not over.
Well, you're the mama. Your work day is here. That other thing where you earn cash, I don't even know what to call it. I'm the most important thing on your radar.
You say so.
You hear how I get treated, guys? You need to audit your new energy cycles. This one is affecting me a little bit. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like I'm much more tired when I get home now, but my hours haven't really changed. I'm still up about the same time and I'm asleep at the same time. So I don't know what the difference is.
It's a little befuddling. Massively different roles often come with different peak hours. We might have to look at a more traditional schedule while the other deals with a hospital and administrative rhythm here. We're seeing that now.
Well, and we're also seeing the schedules affecting because I was 99% of the time, except when you worked from home, your Mondays was home before you and dishes were done and dinner was started. And now when I'm working late nights, you have to do a few of those things.
I do. Not that I mind much, but I do. I'm also seeing my schedule. I'm in the office more, but I have more flexibility with those hours. I get to set my own schedule. Like tomorrow, for example, I have to be in at 6. I can leave early if I want, but I didn't get to pick going in at 6. Requirement is I have to do something at 6. So it's weird.
Determine when your energy levels overlap. If your new roles leave you both exhausted by 7 p.m., move high priority personal discussions like investment planning or family updates to weekend mornings or dedicated coffee dates. You know, that time when you get home from work, you've gotten changed, you have a few minutes, talk about it then before you're exhausted.
Syncing our calendars is something that I've been talking on. This is a problematic area in our house. We're a family of 6. 5 of us live here. We use Google Calendars, constantly arguing with the children about it, just to throw up when they're working and when their school schedule is, so we could naturally help each other in the house. They don't seem to be taking to it. Miss Kathy and I have gotten pretty good at it, though. Because of our separate work schedules, it works well. It's not the only software solution out there.
But it also lets you see the empty spaces in your schedule so that you don't feel overwhelmed with your new work schedule and the anxiety of how busy your week is.
Now, I've gotten over the top with my calendar at times. I used to put my workouts and everything in. It's a thing for me. I don't I've found a happy medium. Some of the gurus talk about, oh, if it's not scheduled, it doesn't happen. What I found over time, over the past few years, is incorporating my workout into my routine. I don't need to have it on the calendar, and it still happens.
Now, remember to aggressively delegate household chores. When two people have new roles like we do, we hit decision fatigue. It's best to lean into systems that remove domestic mental load.
It's not working, though.
It is. We decided to get a landscaper, which is something that takes up a lot of our white space.
That's true. Next up is what?
House cleaner.
Yep. You would think if there were only other people that could help.
There are, but those people also are doing things busy in their lives like school and work.
Outsource the logistics like we talked about. We got a landscaper. We're looking at getting a housekeeper. I even investigated property management firms that handle single family homes. And you know what I found out? We're not rich.
And we're not talking housekeeper like someone that lives here like Alice on the Brady Bunch.
That would be cool, though.
We're talking about someone that comes in twice a month and does a deep clean for us to keep us on track.
If you happen to be Alice from the Brady Bunch, that would be cool, though. And looking for work, let us know.
Another way to make your week easier, which we have figured out, is we streamlined our wardrobe.
One of the books I listened to talks about if you start your next day the day before with your prep, and this is part of that, lunch, meal prep, those type of things, wardrobe prep being part of it, and I'm finding it to be true, confirming it, it does help the next day flow much easier, particularly when you are up way earlier than the other person and need to get dressed in the dark.
I understand that, but doesn't that also then do away with your work day's over? Because you just never stop your work day if you're prepping for the next day.
Well, for example, I already did it today. You helped pick the tie.
I did. But essentially what it says is you should streamline your wardrobe, meaning not make it so difficult.
I know. I could buy 5 pairs of khaki pants, 5 white dress shirts, and 5 the same tie and jacket, and that's what I can wear every day.
You do you, boo-boo.
It worked for Einstein.
My plan is the capsule approach. It's having a set rotation of high quality, durable workwear, and you rotate it. Kind of put everything you didn't wear towards the front, everything you have worn towards the back, and keep rotating it and mixing it up with those few pieces. Gives you a lot of outfits and not a lot of decision making.
We're finding it's important to protect our non-negotiables. Career demands are high. Personal passions like podcasting or language learning, I got to get back to that, are often the first things that slide. Apparently, it's correct because my Rosetta Stone has fallen off a little bit. The anchor activity is part of this. Choose one shared priority, perhaps podcasting or an upcoming trip. Treat them as immovable objects in your schedule. This is where the gurus talk about if it's not on your schedule, it doesn't happen. That aspect, they're correct.
And do check in. Set a recurring 15-minute Sunday evening meeting. Ask each other, what's the one thing we can do this week to make the new routine feel more like an adventure and less like a chore?
We've been doing our Sunday check-in now 5-6 years now, and it does really help. I would like it to be shortly after Sunday family dinner. Only we're short on one Sunday family dinner because this one's working, that one's working, the other one doesn't like talking to us. It's not working out, but I would like the entire family involved in that.
And we are once again embracing the beginner's mindset. After decades of work in previous fields, being in a massively different role can feel a little unsettling. I never felt so stupid. I don't know what word, unintelligent, unknowledgeable, as the first 2 weeks in my new job learning this new software and just being completely lost.
A new software system can definitely do that to you. Being old, I remember switching from WordPerfect to Word. I couldn't even type. Still can't. But WordPerfect, I knew where all the shortcuts were, all the keyboard shortcuts. We got Word, it was like a whole different animal. It's important for us to embrace the beginner's mindset with it. That will help us understand we're in new roles, new information. We're going to lower the pressure on ourselves by acknowledging that there's a learning curve for the new home balance, just like there is at work. Celebrate the small wins. I think we should have ice cream.
You always think we should have ice cream.
What are we doing that's working here? We're keeping ourselves squared away. Who cares where that came from? I've been saying it for years. It works. We have this Sunday night ops briefing, our 15-minute little meeting, where we synchronize our calendar. We identify any friction points during the week and try to come up with solutions. We've standardized our daily pack out, and that's by getting our clothes ready and our go bag, so to speak. It's different now, right? It's our lunch box. I want to, and I'm going to get one eventually when I find the right one. I'm going to get like a Marvel lunchbox. We've implemented shift change decompression in our life. We could probably get a little bit better at it. Getting home from work and immediately jumping in or being attacked, or attack's not the right word, being inundated with home stuff, it's hard. You need to, now that my commute's so short, it's hard. Leave the job at the door. I never have been good at that.
You can't. It says avoid checking work emails for the first hour you're home and allow your focus to shift entirely to your personal priorities.
True story. We were on vacation. My private cell phone rings. I answer it because it's somebody from work. At the same time, my work cell phone rings with another work call. Kathy had to speak to that colleague from work. It's a family affair in this house. My job is a family affair.
Listen, make sure you protect your rest cycles. When roles change, sleep and downtime are often the first thing to be compromised. Establish a time, 9:30ish, where all screens go off. This protects your sleep quality, which is the foundation of staying squared away during the day. And schedule the joy. Don't wait for free time to happen. It won't. Formally book yourself upcoming trips and weekend outings into your calendar. Do it now.
We did it. We did.
We did do it. Have a light at the end of the tunnel, which makes stress of the new learning curve that we're going through much easier to handle.
Unless it's a train. That light could be a train. Mission creep. How's it happening? Well, with all this change going on in our life, we find ourselves a little mission creepy each day, and we're still fine-tuning these things. What we have to do is remember the primary mission. In our new role, it's easy to get distracted by side fires, family stuff. What we do is we sit down and we talk about it. We have our professional, what we have to do at work, and we have our personal non negotiables. These are our boundaries. For example, our Sunday night calendar sync up is a personal that inevitably overlaps professional because we're talking about our work calendar, but just in chunks of time. In our new roles, we'll call it the beta phase rule. We're still figuring out what our calendars are going to look like. So we're not making any real hard, fast commitments to any other time. We're kind of hashing it out and figuring out how it's going to work.
Yeah, we're adjusting and giving it a few months to really get our schedules down to a science.
Mission creep happens slowly. It's not like a right turn.
It happened slowly for some people. For me, I feel like I was at my job a few days and it was time to clock out. And there was one last thing I had to do. And I waited to do it because that's who I am. There's just a few more minutes, just one more thing. It happened pretty quickly, but that's probably because it was happening in my other job all the time.
For me, what I do is I take time at the end of each week. Now it's Friday afternoon before I leave to review the week that just occurred at work. Make sure I'm staying on point, sticking to my fire safety stuff, make quick notes, do a mind dump, and then I can walk away. Helps me on a weekly basis readjust for the following week if there is any mission creep getting in there.
The difference being is that there are some things that I have to do that people need. Their appointments are depending on answers and faxes and things that they need to proceed on the rest of their week.
Another thing I found I need to do is make this protective friction, so to speak. What that looks like, we just went on a trip and you'll hear all about it in an upcoming episode. But I had to make it mentally, it was difficult for me not to be on the phone and be on the daily meetings and those type of things. That's difficult, particularly because it's a new job and I want to be involved in everything.
And you just set a do not disturb on my phone for while I'm at work. And it's not really a do not disturb, but it's my phone goes quiet so that I'm not distracted by outside stuff when I'm trying to focus on my job.
We standardize and delegate the static stuff. We already talked about that, getting the landscaper. But the list here goes on and on. We could probably find help for laundry, cleaning. We already have an accountant for our taxes and other paperwork like that. We could delegate some more stuff.
We could.
And maybe we'll eventually get there, but like property maintenance, like the handyman type deal, just the service alone was cost prohibitive for sure.
And then there's always the wild card factor. It's the best way to fight mission creep, and it's to schedule nothing. Put time on your calendar, label it unstructured or nothing or downtime. You can't use this for work, chores, or planning. It's just a little bit of decompression time that you can schedule into your day if you need to follow a schedule.
In my research, I started to ask how long does it take before this starts to get absorbed? And turns out time takes time. The first phase of this is our 90-day acquisition phase. And in that, it's the most high stress period. You're in the neutral zone. The old way of doing things is gone, but the new way hasn't become muscle memory yet. Things that it shows during this are high levels of decision fatigue. The things like, what do I want to wear? Which way do I want to drive? Become harder than normal because the mental load is pretty high. I think we're just starting to get kind of clearer of the hurdle of that. The goal of this phase is to survive it and to put our systems in place to propel us forward. This is the time that we got to lean heavily on those Sunday night briefings, and we are. We're essentially training our lives to run on whole new tracks.
The next stage is the 6-month integration phase. You stop feeling like a guest at your job. You start to see seasonal patterns, and at home, you've likely ironed out all the problems and starting a new balance. It's starting to work.
Like this afternoon, I ironed out some wrinkles.
The goal of this is that when you can start looking at those non-negotiables like your creative projects or long-term investments, and reintegrating them with more consistency.
It's constantly on my to-do list is to re-engage the 5 to 9. However, I'm having a hard time getting it there because anytime we talk about it, then I realize you have a late night. So our 5 to 9 became this afternoon. 1 year is about the normalization phase. And what we're expecting here when we get there is we've experienced the holidays, the seasons, the high stress events in our new role. We're no longer comparing what our life was to the new job. Now we're comparing the new job to the new job. The goal is mastery. The transition is officially over, and the new routine is simple. It's how we live now.
It's important to recognize that you'll likely won't return to the old normal. After a major shift, you're building a new normal. We are building a new normal. The goal isn't to get back to where we were, but to reach a point where the current complexity feels effortless. We're getting comfortable.
We also found that in this change, we took that trip. It was very helpful to me, stress-wise, to get out of the new routine, away from the old routine, and just take a breath.
Just remember, if you are living with other people, you can leverage the adults in adults. If the mission creep of the new job is making it hard to keep the house squared away, ask for some help. Ask for some input. And don't forget, do a wild card. Have a stress-free activity that's scheduled into your calendar.
And in our house, I have actually recognized that I make fun of them and I'm tough on our kids, but our kids have stepped up and I say kids, our adults are stepping up and helping. What I'm finding is to ease the family strain, we live our journey, we enjoy our journey, they see us doing it. If they see us navigating these challenges with a sense of humor and a solid plan, it's going to help them feel less like they need to protect us from the stress of our new everything, and more like they can support us in a new chapter. Thank you for listening. We have more episodes coming up, including our travel episode. Tune in soon. Be safe.
Just remember, you've got this, adults. Keep your head up, your spirits high, and keep adulting with us. Go forth and conquer the world, or at least your to-do list.
And don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe. Tell your friends, share the podcast, and head over to idulting.com for more information and to connect with us. See you on the next episode. Be safe.